Political loyalty tests set border crossings. Supporters deported by the very policies they championed. Citizens of other countries told to take off their hats or leave. The land of the free is looking real different these days. Welcome back to Mind Mirror. Let's get into it.
A Canadian couple was denied entry into the U.S. because they said they did not support Trump when asked at the border. You heard that correctly. They were asked if they supported Trump. They answered honestly, no. So they went to another border crossing. This time, when asked the same question, they said they did support Trump just to get across the border. They told them that they knew they were lying and they were banned for 4 years. No crime, no threat, just an honest answer to a political question they should never have been asked. It's not in the news because what is a Canadian supposed to do? Call the local station yelling code red, warning up ahead, don't try to enter. Yes, that's exactly what needs to happen. There is an increase in travel bans for Canadians entering America. I want you to let this sink in. People being denied entry because they don't support Trump. This is an abuse of power, a silencing of political dissent. This is not democracy. This is control. This is authoritarianism.
A loyalty question at a border crossing. Answer honestly, you get denied. Lie about it, and you get banned for 4 years. So what exactly is the correct answer here? Because it sounds like the only right answer is blind allegiance. That's not immigration enforcement, that's an ideological screening. And the silence around this story is almost as disturbing as the story itself.
I am personally welcoming a ban from the U.S. at this point, but others deserve the truth before they book a flight, get in their car, and make travel plans to come to a country that is on the human rights watch list. Share this, protect each other, get the message out to Canadians and to the world. Stop coming to America. It is not a safe place to be right now. The land of the free, my are you coming to a country that is on the human rights watch list? Why? I mean, we're trying to get out, and the irony is not lost on me.
That Canadian man that got caught up in this MAGA whole thing and got told he has to stay in Canada. 46-year-old, I think from Pennsylvania, wherever he's from, right? But he was a MAGA supporter. From what I'm understanding is that he can't even vote in the United States. But he supported MAGA, of course, we know why. And all of a sudden, he went to Canada, a trip that he makes, according to him, annually. And because of a marijuana charge, right, and driving on a suspended license, they stopped him at the Canadian border on his way back to the U.S. and told him he can't come back in America because of the MAGA policies that are currently in place. Right? So what it goes to show, it solidifies the fact over and over and over, once again, that MAGA supporters aren't the brightest people in the world. They're just not. You know what I'm saying? And you will see more of these cases where MAGA supporters are getting caught up in the MAGA web, so to speak. Just like this Canadian man. How is it you could be in the United States? You don't even have the right to vote. And you're supporting MAGA regime that completely destroyed your life after living in America for 40 years. For 40 years, that man lived in the United States. And he got turned around at the border. Right? He left on his way out. Nobody ain't saying nothing to him. But on his way back coming to the United States, he was told, because of a marijuana charge since 2004, 2007, whatever, it's years ago, that has been cleared up. He already paid the price for those. It's been held against him. And he's now back in Canada with his, I think, 5 kids and wife, left back in the United States. You see? I keep telling you guys, look at what MAGA is doing. Look at what they're doing. Stop supporting their bullshit. You get what I'm saying? Just stop. It's not worth it. And you guys who are over there supporting MAGA, stop. It's going to hurt you. You may not be a green card holder, right? You may not be a person from Canada who's lived here for 40 years. But guess what? It's going to hurt you in some other ways. It will. Okay? Big beautiful bill. Healthcare. Now they're putting their medical file on your credit reports, all this shit, you'll see. Peace.
A Melbourne pub patron has been left stunned after being asked to remove his Donald Trump Make America Great Again cap or leave the venue. Angelo Notto was celebrating at the Captain Baxter Bar in St Kilda on Australia Day when he was approached by management.
Well, I was told it was political incitement, which I think is completely nonsense. It wasn't. I was actually just having a bad hair day.
This guy walks into a bar in Melbourne, Australia, wearing a MAGA hat on Australia Day of all days, gets asked to take it off and acts like his rights were violated. Brother, you are on the other side of the planet. Nobody owes you a safe space for your American political merchandise. The rest of the world is watching what's happening and they want no part of it. Read the room.
And I liked the hat and I wanted to wear it.
Mr Notter says that the manager had an American accent and he wonders if the request was politically motivated.
Spending the rest of my life in Canada, and who knows if I'll ever even have the right to re-enter the United States at this point.
Okay. I'm laughing because that man's name is Chris Landry, and he is a chunky milk supporter who moved here from Canada at 4 years old, committed crime, left the country, and then tried to come back in. And they said, hey, girl,
You know, don't come back or we will detain you. And you.
But keep in mind, this man is a chunky milk supporter who clearly said that anybody who is an immigrant here who has committed a crime has to get about the country and can't come back in.
I was definitely, all for Make America Great Again and having a strong, unified country.
And that's what you got. And your wife voted for it, the mother of your children.
This woman is breaking it down with zero sympathy, and honestly, I can't blame her. The man supported mass deportation. His wife voted for it. They thought the rules applied to everyone else. And that right there is the disease at the heart of this whole thing. Not the policy itself, but the belief that cruelty has a VIP list. It never does. It never has. You don't get a loyalty card that exempts you from the machine you helped build.
Voted for this. And because of that, it affected you. But the thing is, you thought it wasn't going to affect you. You thought you would have been safe. You thought you wouldn't be someone being affected. Just be grateful that you're not sitting in Alligator Alcatraz right now, or El Salvador, or one of the other detention centers where there are maggots in food, children fighting adults for clean water, no sanitation, no access to religion. Don't come out here crying and all sorry, I may never get back into the United States of America. You didn't care about that was going to happen to the other people who didn't look like you. I don't feel bad for you. I don't feel bad for you at all. Sounds like you kind of got what you deserved.
Y'all was really salsa dancing in MAGA hats. Only for this man to be preparing your eviction notice from the country as soon as he got in the house. As soon as he got in that White House, he had y'all eviction notices from the country ready. Y'all was really on stage talking about some Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump. And Donald Trump said, you gotta go.
She said he had eviction notices ready the moment he walked into the White House, and that is not an exaggeration. That is literally what happened. Day one executive orders. Mass deportation plans. The infrastructure was built, and she makes another point that cuts deep. Black communities were sounding the alarm for years, saying this is dangerous. This will hurt all of us. But nobody wanted to listen because of who was delivering the message.
Literally got your eviction notice prepared. You're evicted even though you was paying rent. You evicted from the country. But, y'all ain't want to listen to what we had to say because my skin black. You ain't want to hear what we had to say. We been told y'all. But nobody ever want to listen to us. Now you got to deal with your consequences. You see what happens when you don't listen? That's like that girl that was crying talking about my daddy getting deported. Girl, you knew that was going to happen when you voted for that man. You still voted for that man knowing your dad was going to get deported if that man won. Now look at him. Did y'all think this was a game? Did you think it was a joke? Well, guess what? Joke's on you. Joke is on you. If you voted for that man and now you in the streets protesting, I don't want to hear a single word come out your mouth. To those who are out there protesting peacefully, thank you. Thank you. But to those who's out here complaining about everything that's happening, when you was on stage talking about some Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump, 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 Trump. If you get evicted from this country, that's on you.
See, this is the part where the frustration becomes personal. She's drawing a clear line between people who protested from the beginning and people who cheered it on and are now upset because the consequences found them. That distinction matters. You don't get to light a fire and then cry when the smoke fills your house. Some of y'all were dancing in MAGA hats while families were being torn apart, and now you want solidarity. That's not how this works.
All right, TikTok. I guess I was going to make another video tonight, but look, about my video on, basically leave the immigrants alone, leave people in this country alone, etc. I've read a ton of comments and just wanted to get on here and say, you MAGA geniuses are still missing the message. Like, I've heard stupid shit, you can go with them. Pack your bags with them. Look, you're forgetting. It's not about that. That's not what the message was about. It shows you how incompetent you are, and that's probably why the hell you voted for Donald Trump. It was about understanding where people are coming from. And that's what America lacks, is we forget the situations that are people that are in. No one's taking your job. If you're unemployed right now, that's your fault. That is your fault. There's plenty of places hiring.
This man is making the simplest point in the world, and people still can't hear it. Undocumented workers aren't walking into Apple or IBM filling out applications. They're roofing houses, building homes, doing the work nobody else wants to touch, and he said something that cuts deep. These are followers, not leaders. His whole family is red, and he sees it up close. Following is comfortable because it means you never have to think for yourself. Be better than your dad. Be better than your grandfather. Be you for a change.
Those people that are illegal, and this is what's so interesting, they come over here, they don't have their green card, they're not walking up into Walmart or ADP or Paylocity or IBM or Apple or any of those companies getting a job. So they're not taking your jobs. Have common sense. And 9 times out of 10, them jokers, dude, they're badass at roofing a house. They're badass at taking care of a yard. They're badass at building homes. They're badass at plumbing. These people are not idiots. They're very smart. It's just that America wants to be an idiot and say these people are not worthy or don't need to be here. Like, you don't know their situations. You need to look at it from a different perspective. And you big badass mega dudes think you're badass. Well, you're not. You show your ignorance. Like, don't be like that. Be better than that. Be better than maybe your dad. Be better than your friends. Be better than your grandfather. Better yet, be you for a change. Because I can tell you right now, a lot of the people that voted for Donald Trump and these MAGA warriors are followers. They're not fucking leaders. I can guarantee you that because I know plenty of them. My whole family is red. So, and they're all fucking followers. So, it was just a simple statement of treat people with respect and dignity and maybe think about where they're coming from. That's all. It's very simple. It's not rocket science. It's common sense, actually, which is what America needs more of. So come and get me, Trumpers.
Cuban-American Trump supporters thought they were special. That is the core of this entire clip. They watched him demonize Mexicans, Central Americans, South Americans, and thought, nah, he doesn't mean U.S. A congresswoman who campaigned alongside him is now blaming Biden. Ma'am, you were at the rallies. You made the promises. Welcome to the find-out phase is the most accurate thing anyone has said all video.
Trump supporters are now upset with Donald Trump's immigration policies because they are directly affecting them and their families. Now, this is specifically Cuban-American Trump supporters who thought likely that Donald Trump's policies wouldn't affect them at all. It would only affect people that didn't like Trump, that he didn't like, but not them. Take a look at what Congresswoman Salazar had to say, who is a Cuban-American and a Trump supporter. I'm urging Homeland Security to protect Cubans awaiting legal status adjustment through the Cuban Adjustment Act. Don't penalize them for Biden's screw-ups. Well, I have news for you, Ms. Salazar. This is not Biden who is doing this. This is happening to your constituents, their family members, to Cubans looking to come to America because of Donald Trump. You campaigned alongside him. He told you what he was going to do, and it was going to affect everybody. Now, I, for one, actually feel bad for the people who want to come here and have a better life. But for the people who voted for Donald Trump, this is what you get. Welcome to the find out phase. Hope you enjoy your stay.
I was convinced that voting for Trump was for the economy or against crime, when in reality I was supporting a man and a movement that dehumanizes people. He basically built his platform on targeting immigrants, spreading hate, and I feel that it would be immoral and inhumane to let a man who is suffering, who is terminally ill, spend what little time he has left in pain and isolation. Please don't let him die in a cell. Please don't let his final memories be of those of pain and isolation. The American flag stands for compassion, kindness, liberty, and justice for all. We're all human, and today I'm asking for one human act of compassion to please let my dad come home.
Yes, to the lady.
These days it would be for me to say that I wasn't thinking when I voted or that I don't watch the news. I had to ask myself the same question that hundreds of you are asking me, is why did I vote the way I did? I've spent the last few days reflecting, and I feel like I came through some sort of revelation, or like blindfolds were ripped off my eyes.
Now, this is different from everything else we've watched today. This woman isn't deflecting. She's not blaming Biden. She's looking inward. She said it felt like blindfolds were ripped off her eyes, and she traced it back, not just to one vote, but to years of choices, not teaching her daughter Spanish, distancing herself from her own culture. Her father is now fighting for his life in a detention cell, and she's owning it. She said, "This is a choice I have to live with." That takes more courage than most people in these clips have shown.
I started seeing things differently. I questioned my beliefs, my choices, and my role in all of it. I started to realize that it wasn't just this one choice I made. It was kind of a accumulation of choices I've been making for years. Like, for example, when I had my first daughter, I never taught her Spanish because I didn't care to have her learn Spanish. And after having my second daughter, I kind of knew that I was a hardworking man. He raised me and my 4 siblings, and now he's fighting for his life in a cell. I'm still fighting with everything I have to see if I can get him released so that he's able to spend his final days at home surrounded by his family and his children. When I voted for Trump, I supported the very system that allows this kind of cruelty to happen. That is a choice that I have to live with. Some people have said that my family deserves this, or that I or my dad deserve it, or that...
So this is what I'm trying to understand here. What did Cubans who voted for Trump think? Did they think they were special? Did they think that Trump, who had been saying for months, even years, that TPS was not a legal way to come into the country, who thought that everybody from Latin America was munching of the government, who talked about the largest deportation in history, was going to just look the other way when it came to Cubans? Because what? Because they're special? These are the same Cubans that for a while kept talking about Mexicans and Central Americans and South Americans and saying that we were munching of the government for some weird reason, when most immigrants don't munch of the government because they don't even have a social security number. But well, I digress. The point is this. The guy told you straight up what he was going to do. And you thought you were exempt of whatever measure he wanted to take. And you didn't care about the rest of the people that were going to get hurt. And you still don't. And now you're crying on social media saying that they're illegally taking the people that he promised to pardon you if you had, like, some guys, so say, like, if you had a college degree, then, or you were going to school. what do they think? Do the rest of us don't have education, or do the rest of us don't speak multiple languages?
So this is pretty humiliating. Yesterday in Chicago, Donald Trump's Department of Homeland Security Secretary, Kristi Noem, tried to use a bathroom at a local building and was denied by the workers indoors. And then she decided to have a little bit of a meltdown on camera, attacking the workers, attacking the city, and everything else surrounding it. So I want to play this clip for you and a couple of other things to show you just this very weird moment and series of events for the Trump administration yesterday. But look, I got to be honest, there's a deeper story here as to why Kristi Noem is even in Chicago in the first place. And that's what they're doing there. They've launched this immigration operation that's been taking place since September. And some of the stories we are getting out of the city are just horrific. Entire apartment buildings being ransacked, people being forcefully removed from their apartment buildings. And I even have a clip to show you later of kind of a weird, terrifying moment where police are just marching down, ICE agents, I should say, are marching down a street in Chicago, and it just looks very dictatorial. So we're going to get into all of this and more. Before I do so, make sure to subscribe to the channel down below, drop a like on the video, comment, let me know what you think about this story. And to start off, let's just all watch Kristi Noem's short little meltdown. Take a look.
Can we use the restrooms? We can? Okay, all right, thank you. Interesting. That's what Governor Pritzker says is cooperation and keeping people safe.
They're such snowflakes. They're such snowflakes.
So why wouldn't they let you in? What's been going on here? What's been going on here, Secretary?
We were coming to go out and do some operations to pick up some guys with criminal convictions on them, and the city police wouldn't even let us use a restroom.
And you were just blocked by by a worker here for the city?
Worker at the municipal building here in Broadmoor would not allow us to go in and to use the restroom at the police station. So as much as these local leaders and governors talk about cooperating and having the backs of our law enforcement officers, this is what we have to put up with every single day. And all we're doing is getting criminals and terrorists and cartels and gang members off the streets to make families safer.
Such liars, man.
I mean, is it impeding law enforcement? I mean, this is a real problem around
This is a real problem. I'm so proud of our officers that deal with this every single day. They know that America's got their backs.
This is such an embarrassing display from both Kristi Noem and Benny Johnson, who is filming her.
A bathroom? They turned a bathroom into a political crisis, while apartment buildings are being ransacked and families forcefully removed. The headline is, Kristi Noem couldn't use a restroom, and Benny Johnson is riding around in a Border Patrol vest like it's Halloween. Meanwhile, ICE agents are marching through Chicago neighborhoods in formation. That's not enforcement, that's theater designed to intimidate. The cruelty isn't a side effect, did I say? It's the entire point.
That's why there's a camera crew. It's Benny Johnson's crew. This was him yesterday wearing a Border Patrol federal agent bulletproof vest. He was driving around with them wearing a Border Patrol agent. This is what the Trump administration is doing, bringing...
Every clip today told the same story from a different angle. People learning that loyalty doesn't protect you from a system built on cruelty. The woman reflecting on her father in detention understood something the rest of them haven't figured out yet. You can't vote for the fire and then be surprised when it burns your house down. Who do you think wakes up next? Drop it in the comments, like, share, subscribe. Mind Mirror doesn't look away.